Hello, everyone. I am Prophet Dr. Dana Reece, and I'm here today with Crystal Dorsey. And Crystal's going to share about her experience with me. I coached her one-on-one for quite some period of time, starting around the time of the pandemic. And I am launching a coaching program for single Christian women over age 30 who are praying and desiring to get married. And the name of my program is Kingdom Marriage Preparation Bootcamp. The subtitle is Get Your King Ring and Kingdom Marriage. And I'm launching this program on May the 23rd. And it's a group coaching program, and it will last about 10 weeks. And each session will be recorded on Zoom. So everyone who participates will get a copy. And I will be coaching on a variety of topics with several outcomes. And I'm going to be teaching about how to discern a healthy masculine energy man, a kingly man, how to discern a man who is marriage material. I'm going to be talking about how to communicate for long-term success in relationships. And we're also going to be talking about issues involving inner healing, feminine energy. So I'm going to help you make some shifts. So if you are not dating, this program is for you. If you are dating, but not clear on who the right person is, this program is for you. Or if you're in a relationship and you're even engaged, this program is for you because it's going to help you get some clarity, some insight, some understanding, and give you just confidence because uh, information creates confidence. So this program is going to give you knowledge on how to meet men, how to date according to kingdom principles, how to discern if a man is actually marriage material, because there are a lot of good men out there, but they're not necessarily marriage material because number one, they're not looking to get married. And number two, they're just looking for something casual. They don't have intentions about long term. So this program is going to help you determine what kinds of men are out there, whether a man is actually healthy or whether he's a wounded man or a man who is just looking for a woman to take care of him, that kind of thing. So there's going to be a lot of information in this program. The program will also be transformational. You know, Esther soaked in the oil for 12 months before she even met the king. So she was prepared to meet the king. And when she met the king, she was ready, and he discerned her difference. And so let me just say this, there are plenty of single men out there who are looking for a divine mate, but for a kingly man to see you, you're going to need to be operating in your queenly feminine energy, just like Esther was. So I'll be sharing more about this program in the days to come. But Crystal, I want to thank you for being with us today. And I just want to ask you a little bit about um, tell the viewers about the coaching that I did with you.
Okay, so the coaching it started at the beginning of the pandemic, and like so many others, the pandemic was such a stressful time for so many people, and I began to lose everything around me. Income due to my business, we pretty much went out of business immediately. Um, I was dealing with anxiety. I was at like the year mark of my dad dying, his death anniversary. I had things going on in my family. I just had so much going on, so much anxiety, so much fear. And I allowed those things to define who I was. I would react in a way that I am at today not proud of. And I felt I was justified. You know, when people do things to hurt you, or when life happens, you get frustrated. And sometimes we act frustrated.
Were you reactive? Did you go off the handle easily? Did you get upset? Did you get angry? Um, were you operating out of your wounded little girl, basically? Were you
I was
operating out of hurts?
most definitely, I was definitely operating out of my wounded little girl. I didn't even know what that term was until I started coaching. That's why it's so important just to seek help and godly counsel so you can learn these things. I just felt like if I was mad, I had the right to be mad, and how I reacted, I was justified. So I would react in anger, I would react yelling, and depending on how the severity of the situation, sometimes screaming. I would react and if someone hurt me, saying things back to hurt them. I was extremely reactive, and it just wasn't a good fit at all
Now
for any.
you had some daddy issues, correct?
Absolutely.
And then when your father died, that just kind of triggered a lot of things inside you.
It triggered a lot. It triggered a lot, and I love my dad. We were not that close, but when he died, all this stuff starts coming up. All of these feelings, all of these trying to understand. And then that was the beginning of my journey.
Well,
When I
did you comprehend how did the coaching help you get? Did you even know that you were acting inappropriately before we started coaching?
no, I
Or
didn't.
okay, so what shifts did you experience when you started coaching with me?
Okay, so well, I can say this. I appreciate Prophet Dana's honesty. She's very honest. And I will say, if you really don't want to change, you're probably in the wrong program. I want 100 people to sign up. If you don't want to change and you don't want to find out what's wrong with you, because when you find out what's wrong with you, it can be painful. It can be hurtful because a lot of times we don't want to acknowledge that we did something wrong. I'm a woman of God. I love people. I love to be nice. I thought I was handling things the right way. However, she would pinpoint, you did that. That's not the way to act. You did this. And I'm like, okay. It would be, oh, you're doing that from fear, or you're doing that from trauma, or you're doing that because of what your mom did to you, or you're doing that from your, wounded little girl. And I didn't understand all of these things. And then she told me that I was so masculine. And I think that is probably going to be one of the best parts of the program, learning masculine energy versus feminine energy. Like, we know the word feminine, we know the definition, girly, act as a woman things. But as far as behavior, there were things that I didn't know that I was doing, like, being bossy. A lot of girls, we grow up and we're just bossy, but when it comes time for a relationship as an adult, you have to lay that down. You have to let the man lead. And I didn't mean any harm. I just felt like, okay, this needs to get done. Okay, so we're going to do this. This is going to get done. I had to learn to lean back.
Well, tell me, because you were in your masculine energy for your work, which is, but you carried that into your relationship. And were you trying to control? You were actually engaged at that time. Were you trying to control him and tell him what to do and how to do it?
Right. And I felt justified. It wasn't like in a vindictive way. It was just like, I know how to do things. I'm smart. I can get the job done. So let's just follow my lead. That was just
and so I tell women, pretty much every woman will tell you they want a man who leads, but then they want to tell him how to lead. Okay. So Crystal, how did that affect your fiance when you were in that masculine energy? What happened?
It just wasn't good. You're dealing with the guy, period. If you're dealing with a man, no one wants to be bossed around. Again, at that time, prior to the coaching, I didn't look at it like that. I looked at it like I was actually being a helpmate. That's how I looked at it. Like, I was helping him by figuring everything out, by planning everything out, and not allowing him to do it. I figured that I was doing the right thing, not knowing I was doing the total opposite.
Now,
of
was
what
that kind of like a mothering type energy? Can you see that now?
And even the word mothering, I had never heard of that term. I did not realize that that's something that a lot of women do. Like, now I see these things when I'm talking to my friends. I'm like, oh my God, they're mothering him. It could be something as simple as your guy, husband, whoever, they want to cook dinner and they want to make spaghetti. And you're saying, okay, use this seasoning and chop it up like this and do it like this and do it like, instead of just letting them do it, their own way. That is what so many women do. So
but really that's when a woman is in that mothering energy, it actually pushes high quality masculine men away. They'll run. And so the kind of men that energy draws are men who are more in their feminine energy, or what I call Peter Pan men, who are actually looking for a mother or someone to. But isn't that exhausting to be in that kind of energy with a man?
it
Tell us
is
about
very
that.
exhausting. I can say this for not just myself, but so many women. So growing up in a home with just a mother running everything, naturally we do that. Also for the men who have grown up in homes, and let's just be honest, a lot of homes are mother based. They're mothers, they're not there are no fathers in them, not all of them, but some. And so even for the men, when they are used to mom doing everything, they will go and seek a woman in that energy. So they're operating in their feminine energy, not understanding that that's what they're doing. And that's a disaster waiting to happen.
Well, when a woman is in that masculine, strong masculine energy with a man, trying to mother, trying to control, what she ends up attracting, a high quality masculine man is going to run. He's not going to stay in that scenario, but the woman will attract what I call Peter Pan men, who are basically little boys in grown men's clothing, who want to be mothered, who want a woman to take care of them or support them, or it will attract a wounded man. So that wounded energy actually attracts narcissists as well, because men, like a narcissistic man, won't come near me, okay? Because I'm an empowered, feminine, queenly woman, but I can't. Maybe in the past they came towards me when I was operating out of my wounds, but when you're in that woundedness, a healthy masculine man will not come near you. Crystal, let me ask you this: did you know what a healthy masculine energy man looked like at that time?
No,
Did
I
you?
didn't. I actually was doing some thinking the other day, and I kind of was thinking back to to some of the guys that I talked to in my singlehood, and it was like, I can't believe I talked. I can't believe I was
You can't
allowed to
believe
have.
you gave them the time of day, right?
Right, right. And it's just ignorance, the lack of knowledge, just not knowing, and that's why the program is so important, to learn the knowledge. But I just I was at a point where whoever came to me and tried to pursue me, I was open, to it. Of course I wouldn't accept any old thing, but if they look decent, they had a job, it was like, okay, I can, why not? They're treating me nice. And then I start realizing one thing that the program is going to teach you is how to operate in your queenhood. And I start realizing, like, no. And it is okay to say, I don't have to settle for that. It is okay to say, I'm a queen and I deserve better.
Well,
And
I think I've heard like people in the church say this, like pastors, ministers, kind of just set a standard for a woman. Oh, you just need a guy who has a job. That's not much of a standard. I mean, that's having a job. I mean, it might, I guess if someone's never worked, but having a job is just very minimal. That's not a high standard.
right. It's not a high standard at all. And let's just be honest. The average adult should have a job. The average, able-bodied adult should have a job. So if you really think about the level field that you're playing at, that's just bringing you down to the lowest of the potentate. And it's like, no, okay, yeah, they need a job, but they also need faithfulness. They need to be loving. They need to be respectful. And my 1 and 2, I would say checklist, checkpoints: integrity and character.
I would say integrity is number one, at least in my book.
Absolutely.
But let's go back and look at just kind of a broad overview. How have you changed? Like, how do you flow now since you've had the one-on-one coaching with me as compared to how you flowed before?
So I will not accept anything less than a king. And you have to be able to identify that. Once you start operating in that, you will attract a higher quality man. Before, like Dana calls him the Peter Pan man. That's her term, and it's so funny. But I didn't understand a Peter Pan man, and I was actually dealing with a lot of them. And then I know that once I went through the coaching, Dana did recommend some therapy. I did a little bit of therapy to deal with some childhood things and some triggers and things like that and anxiety. And as everything just came full circle, I came out of it with a total different mindset. And that's why I say you have to really want the change. You have to let her tell you, like, no, you were wrong. You can't do this. You can't do that. And I really took that in. I was never offended because I really wanted to learn and I wanted to grow. And I thank God for it, because now, dealing with who I'm dealing with now, it actually, for me, it was like a learning experience. But I can say over time, as I allowed the man to choose me, I realized even though they're choosing me, I don't have to choose them back. Number one. Number two, the ones who I did allow myself to build a relationship with it or a friendship with, each time the person got better and better and better, So I do believe in any relationship, or what we call them these days, if it's not committed, a situationship, whoever you're dealing with, the person should improve. You learn the lesson from that one person that didn't work out. You don't look at it like, oh my God, another one bites the dust. No, what is God trying to show you as a woman of God? With this person, I'm showing you that you were needy and you were codependent. With this person, I'm trying to show you that, you can be treated like a queen. And so I started dealing with each guy, got better and better and better, and which ultimately led me to the person that I'm dealing with now. He's an amazing man. He really is.
So he's would you say he's the first high quality masculine man that you've ever met?
Yeah, maybe the second. I think the other one, he kind of taught me a little bit, but he wasn't for me. But
Well, the one before, I told you, I said he's just training and preparation.
Absolutely.
Just give you a model of what
Right.
a high masculine energy man looks like.
Right.
So tell me, um, do you think you could have attracted that type of man before, when you were in the energy that you were in before?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Well, the thing of it is, if a woman can attract a man in that energy, but he's not going to stick around
Right.
if he's really a masculine man. So that's the difference. So, but can you see now how you were operating out of your woundedness before?
Absolutely.
And so do you react to things differently now?
Absolutely. I am much more calm. I am much more unbothered. That's the term we like to use. When someone wants to go, you let them go. If someone wants to ghost you, it is what it is. Like, you don't sit and try to figure out. I know so many women, like, what did I do wrong? And they call them and they'll text them and they'll try to force that person back. You have to learn to take the lesson and just keep it moving, not being moody or needy. Also, I feel like now, this is really key, Dana. I feel that I became so content within myself, where singlehood was not scary. I'm also a divorcee, and so when you, especially when you first go through a divorce, the first thing you deal with, like, oh my God, will I ever find anyone again? And you start thinking like relationship, like who's gonna, even if I don't get married, where's the next guy? And you all have to learn to be content with yourself, love yourself, in the meantime, if you're not in a relationship, self-care, work on your femininity, work on your childhood wounds, do a workout program. I know for me, I learned, it could be something learned. A lot of women, I don't know how to do makeup. Learn how to do your makeup. Don't put your focus on a man, in that time while God is working the situation out. If you love you for who you are and you focus on you and you get out there and you live your life and you do things, that energy will start coming to you. Actually, with the gentleman that I'm dealing with now, I was actually doing a skydive. I was skydiving and I sent the video to a friend. And I remember when I talked to Prophet Dana a few days ago, she said, he found you as you were living your life. I wasn't, like, hey, I'm here. Somebody, come over here. I need a man. No, it wasn't that. It was me just being myself and me being free and living my life. And that will draw a high quality man to you when you are living your life and you're not desperately looking for a man.
So would you, this is, truly believe that one of the biggest issues that women deal with is codependency, which is being excessively dependent on another person for your happiness, your welfare. And so, until a woman really gets healed, um, the tendency for most women who are codependent is they meet a guy, they get overattached, they get reactive, they get needy. If the guy pulls away, they start thinking, oh, if they've agreed to be exclusive or they're married, she starts thinking, oh, he's seeing another woman. It's just so rooted in
Right,
insecurity and woundedness.
right.
So, do you think you've been healed of that now?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's a big part of it. Just being content with yourself, being able to be alone. A lot of women cannot be alone. Even if it's not a man, they have to be with a girlfriend, or just being alone and being content with yourself. The codependency is a big thing that I feel so many people have to work on, men and women. When you are
Yeah, and
codependent,
I
open up
think
doors for the devil to
yeah,
see.
I
Yeah,
think to a large extent the church, the world of religion, kind of trains women to be codependent, to be honest with you. And so that's one of the biggest problems that I see. I used to be codependent. I mean, I was in a situation where I was like codependent and stayed in a situation way too long because of that. So I've been there, and so I've been healed. And I think a scarcity mindset gets person into codependence, like thinking, oh, this is the only person for me. And if I'm not with them, my life's going to be ruined. And I received a prophetic word. So my future's dependent on being with them, all of that. So your future's not dependent on anybody except the Holy Spirit. And
amen.
so I teach an abundance mindset. Maybe God did speak to a particular man to be with you and he went south. It's okay. God is a God of divine replacement.
Amen.
So, your future, your destiny is not dependent on any one person. Can people help you? Absolutely. But God can send somebody else. And so that's why it's important to be free when you're coming out of codependency. One of those shifts is a shift into abundance. And then you don't get just hung up or think your future is dependent on one person. The only person we should be codependent on is God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit.
Amen.
That's the only those are the only people that we should be excessively dependent on for anything. Even if you're married, you can get the guy, you can get the ring, but if you're codependent, it can wreck your marriage and it can still push the guy away. So that's very critical. And Crystal, this has been so informative, and we need to close out. But what would you tell the single women of God that are believing God for a mate? What would you tell them? Would you recommend that they get into this program that I'm launching?
I absolutely would recommend that they get into the program. I think you have all type of coaching programs out there, and 10 ways to find a man and all that stuff. But the thing is, people are not operating with the Holy Spirit, and that's what makes this program so unique. Also with Prophet Dana having her gift of prophecy, she said things along the way in the coaching where she was completely accurate. Holy Spirit will reveal things to her. So I would definitely say sign up for it. If you really want to see breakthrough, if you know that you are dealing with something and you're like, okay, I keep getting bad relationship after bad relationship, that is a key factor. As a woman of God, if you keep getting bad relationship after bad relationship and you don't see any breakthrough in that area, you need to sign up for this program. There are probably some things that you're dealing with that you're not even aware. I did not know about, like I said, the mothering, the feminine versus masculine energy, the codependency. These are all words that were brand new to me. So how could I operate in them in a successful way when I did not even know what they were? So ignorance is the devil's best friend, because what you do not know, he can use against you. So it's coming here to get breakthrough in the area of a kingdom spouse, but it's also revelation knowledge that you're going to learn. And I feel that too. I say this all the time as parents. I have an adult child, and well, two adult children, these are the things that we need to be passing down to our children for the generational blessing. So it's enough of, okay, I seen a divorce, I seen dad cheat on mom, I seen all of this stuff. When you learn this stuff, you can teach this to your daughters, you can teach it to your sons, and so on and so forth. So we can see a breakthrough in generational blessings in our lineage as far as, relationships, healthy, successful, godly kingdom relationships.
So one final question, how did your coaching with me transform your life?
I honestly feel like I have a renewed mind. I look at things so differently. Things that I would have accepted before, I'm just not accepting it. I think the old me would have probably said, "Oh, you're just being so picky." Well, if you want God's best, you're gonna have to be picky, and it's okay. With the leading of the Holy Spirit, he will lead you and he will guide you, and he will, when he sees that you're ready, he's going to release that kingdom mate for you. I'm a living witness of it. So
Amen.
I truly believe that it shifts your mindset, it shifts your way of thinking, it shifts your tolerance of dealing with a certain caliber man. That the guys I dated before, there's no way in the world that I would even consider dating them at this point in my life.
I hear you. I know exactly what you're talking about. Well, Crystal, thank you so much for joining us today. And I hope that Crystal's testimony blessed you. And so I just want to encourage you, no matter your age, no matter your stage, no matter where you live, you're not too old. You're not in the wrong place. It's not too late. God has a kingdom spouse for you. And so just by investing into this program, your time, your intentions, your finances, you are going to shift. It's going to happen just like it did for Crystal. And I'm going to be coaching you in this group program with many of the things that I shared. Well, pretty much probably everything that I shared with Crystal. And so she's living proof that this program transformed her from being a wounded little girl to a queen, and changed her situation from being engaged to a Peter Pan man, no disrespect, to now she is dealing with a high quality kingly man. So there's been a profound shift in her life, and there will be a profound shift in your life, just like there's been profound shifts in my life. So if you are interested in speaking to me about this program, you are worth investing in. You are worth it. And if you want to get married, God has someone for you, but you need to be intentional about your preparation, and it will happen. When you're part of a group coaching program, there's accountability, which brings automatic transformation. So let's talk. Click on the link below on Calendly. I have openings. You can go on my calendar, pick a day, pick a time, and click on, and you'll get an email confirmation. And then I will be talking with you. I will call you, and I want to find out about you, your situation, kind of assess where you're at. I am gifted at, I can talk to someone and very quickly determine, okay, these are the missing pieces. This is what you need. This is what we need to do to shift you into that next place, because I want you to get married to God's best possible mate for you. And I also want you to tap into the presence of the Holy Spirit, because this program will not only shift you to prepare you for your mate, it will also shift you to prepare you for your divine purpose and destiny. So I love you. I'm praying for you. Thank you, Crystal. Click on Let's Talk, and I hope to talk to you soon. God bless everyone. Bye-bye.